guys, and welcome back. We are here for the final race of the season here in Brands Hatch in OFR Gran Turismo Sport Division 1. We've got the Division 2 race starting in just over an hour's time, but here we are settling who is going to be finishing in P2 in this final race of the season. We already know that Racer Tay has taken the driver championship here in GTS Division 1, but P2 is still up for grabs. Now, Iceman Kimi, who's currently in P2 with 106 points, is not racing today. OFR Likala, however, is in third place with 90 points, so he needs 16 points in order to jump Iceman Kimi in the driver standings to secure a P2. But other than that, P1 to P3 is wrapped up, and it will be one of those two guys, who could get P2. Now, the race is starting. You can see the lineup here. It's going to be 30 laps around this 9-corner circuit. Absolutely fantastic circuit. Lots of camber where you want it. Lots of overtaking opportunities down the first and back straight. You can see the lineup there. We've got 12 drivers. Super Bounties racing here today as well for AMG Spinorama. We're just waiting to start now. We're going to ride on board with Platypus, as we usually do in second place, just to see how he gets away and how the person in P1, the real Tracy, gets away as well. That's 4, that's 5 red lights, and now we are waiting as the reds go up, and we are away. That's the green light. Now again, it looks like Platypus has got another decent start. His starts are some of the best we've seen here in GTS. Castle has kind of slammed down the inside of these two Volkswagen Beetles at the moment as well, and that has forced Platypus wide, unfortunately, and he's already off on corner 1. He had a bit of a re-entry that was questionable, but I don't think that's his fault at all, and he's now all the way down in last place. Castle Racing is in that Tag Heuer Phoenix Race Lab, and he has now pushed ahead. He's got the real Trace behind him, and Castle is already a second ahead now. Tag Boys must be very happy with that. We've got Grim, who's currently he actually got his second podium of the season last weekend at Mount Panorama. He's currently in P3 in that Block and Calls car. We've got a lot of support for Team Harley again. I'll jump to him in a minute, but you know, not many people breaking away here. It's looking pretty steady. Now, as these guys go up to turn 5 at the Hallworth Bend, they're going to fly around the right-hander and go down the 3rd straight. Grim has got an absolutely huge toe here. He's not going to be able to make a move as they go through turn 6 at the Westfield Bend, but maybe if he can get a bit of a boost here going downhill and then up through this roller coaster section into turn 7. He's broken a little bit too late, and he's touched the grass. That's going to slow him down a little bit here, and look at that. Bagpuss immediately takes advantage and moves into that podium spot. Grim made a bit of a mistake there, and Bagpuss jumped on that opportunity. Leaker now in P5, again looking to get 16 points to beat Iceman Kimi here. He needs it as much as anyone else, but Castle is currently pulling away. Here we go, Team Harley. There's your driver. He's currently wheel to wheel with Racer Tay in the Spinorama, the D1 champion, currently giving him a run for his money as they're coming down the main straight now. Coming up to turn 1 at the Paddock Hill Bend. A really tricky place to overtake after the straight, and it's even harder to go side by side because you just want to get that car turned in as much as possible. And look at that, Harley's gone onto the grass, and he's made a little bit of a mistake, and he's now got Super Bounty behind him as well. Randy Shaven looking to make a move down the inside for Tag Heuer Phoenix Race Lab. Can he get Harley here? Not yet. Harley's got the better line, and he's going to have to stay behind for now. Harley is in a world of trouble right now. It doesn't look like he's got that setup nailed. He's touching the grass far too many times as he goes through turn 3 there and onto the Cooper straight. Going back up to the race leader, he's 2.3 seconds ahead at the minute. Could this be Castle's first race win of the season? We'll have to see, but what a start to this race. Now, let's wind it down a bit and see what's going on in P2. We've got Bagpuss looking to make a move on the real Trace as they go up to turn 5 at the Hallworth Bend. Again, not really a place to overtake down the inside there because there's grass on the outside, and if you push that driver wide, they're going to lose a lot of time. But the real Trace is taking a bit too much outside curve there at the Westfield Bend, starting to go uphill now and downhill again as they go through the roller coaster section, going through turn 7 at Sheens. Bagpuss has got a fighting Grim behind him as well, and he's also trying to make an overtake on the real Trace. He's in a tricky position too. This track always comes alive at the start of the race for the first 10 laps at least. It starts to break away a little bit. As soon as the first pit stops come in, that's when we're going to see some more lively action as well. But right now, these guys are doing enough as Bagpuss is trailing down the main straight, going through this on-camber long straight turn here as they are coming up to turn 1 at Paddock Hill Bend again. Can Bagpuss do anything here? No, he cannot. He has closed the gap a little bit, but the real Trace has got a nice line through there. Now, Platypus is unfortunately all the way at the back. No, he's not. There's someone behind him. It's Astro Smurf. Something must have happened to Astro here, but he's currently running down in 12th place. He finally managed to get to the race on time because he was running a bit late, but he did make it, so that's good to see. Let's hope he can climb back up the field here. But again, Castle now 3.4 seconds ahead. I wonder how long it's going to take Racer Tay, who's now jumped Grim, to make a move on Bagpuss. Our Division 1 champion here has a lot to do. So we've got Rodden Pollock's Fishing, we've got Mick from Rodden Pollock's Fishing, sorry, saying that unfortunately Harley has been clattered and is running with damage. That's a bit of a shame. I haven't actually checked the damage, and I forgot that we do have heavy damage on in Division 1, so that's going to cost him some time. Let's just quickly see how Grimm's car's getting on. A little bit of tyre wear, no damage on his car whatsoever, so he's currently got a good race ahead of him, especially as he's defending from 2 Spinnerama's, one in front and one behind. And Racer Tay is now looking to make a move here as they are coming up to Sterling's at turn 8, going down the clearway straight here. Is he going to be able to get a better run from Bagpuss? Not yet. Not yet. The final corner at turn 9, sorry, is not the place to overtake, but a good run uphill here could make you switch to the inside or the outside and try to get the position change done before you get to the Baddock Hill bend. Anytime after that, it's going to be tricky. Let's see if he's got it. No, he's tucked in behind. And Bagpuss is still holding on to that P3. Good job there, Bagpuss. Now, let's quickly jump down to P8. I think... Oh, no, where's Harley gone now? Oh, he's pitting. So he's gone on to some fresh medium tyres. He's going to be extending his stint now. I'm sure he didn't pit where he wanted to there, but maybe that damage has caused him to pit. And you're right, Robert, Racer Tay is definitely going for it here. He is on a mission to get another race win. He's up into 3rd place now, and he's got the real trace, and he's already looking to go down the outside as they go up into turn 5 at the Horworth Bend. Real Trace looks like he's got the inside line covered. Racer Tay peeking down the outside. Is he going to do it here? No, he's not. He's going to stay behind for now. He's getting a bit of understeer, and that mid-engine car is hard to handle through these long, well, for these short turns, sorry, but he's managing to get it turned with very little oversteer as he's coming out of the corners, actually. And he's trailing the Real Trace now, just 1/10 of a second as the Real Trace doing everything he possibly can to defend here. Is Racer Tay going to be able to get him before they get to turn 8 at Sterling's? No, he is not. He's going to stay behind. And look at Grimm here. Grimm is doing everything he needs to as well to make sure he doesn't lose this pack, but he's also pulling away from Leaker a little bit. He's 1.2 seconds ahead of Leaker, so he's got the Spinnerama covered at the back. He just needs to make a move on OFR. Bagpuss, the GTS admin here. Now, let's go jet back to Racer Tay because he has got a bit of a cheeky run up into the first corner now. He's looking to go down the inside. Is he going to be able to outbrake? Yes, he is. He's got the inside line. Real Trace is not wanting to give up though, and he's powered around the outside as they are coming up to the hairpin at Druids here in turn 2. Racer Tay having to get a bit heavier on the brake pedal as he usually would to make sure he doesn't run into him on the outside, but Racer Tay has that position change done. Now the Real Trace is trying to fight back down the inside, and he gets it back as they go through turn 3 onto the Cooper Straight. Racer Tay is fighting for his life here. He really wants this P1, and you can see now Bagpuss is looking to make a move as they come up to Surtees. Is he going to be able to do it? No, he's not, but Racer Tay has a far better exit out of that corner. He's already got the toe, he's already got the slip chip, he's got far more speed as well. Is he going to be able to make a move on the Real Trace now? He's looking down the inside. Real Trace closes the door. He's not going to make a move on the outside into Horworth Bend. No way, not a position you can do it, but scratch that. Racer Tay has done it. I will take back what I said. Best driver out there in GTS, I reckon. Hard to make an overtake there, and he kept it clean. Well done. Definitely gonna watch a replay of that, guys. Let's just quickly ride on board of him and see how he does it. Look at this. Switchback. Far too late on the brakes. I thought he was going to run wide, but look at that. He carries the speed all the way through and avoids the grass on the outside. What a move. Now, look at the gap between Castle and Racer Tay. That's just 0.6 of a second right now. Has something happened to Castle? He's got a bit more tyre wear than Racer Tay, but nothing, no damage or anything on his car, so he must have made a mistake somewhere. Now, I'm going to look down the pack because it looks like there's a big battle going on here for 5th place. Leakler has actually caught up to the back of Grimm here. There's a battle going on between Spinnerama and Rodden Pollock's Fishing. What's going on? I'm going to quickly jump back up to the lead though just to see how Castle's getting on, defending against the ever faster, the lightning Racer Tay as they are coming up to turn 4. Racer Tay's got the inside line there. He's not pushed his car wide, and look at that. That's allowed him to get side by side as they are going uphill into turn 5 here. He's side by side, and he might be able to pull a similar move that he did to the Real Trace here. Let's see if we can get him. Again, round the outside, he's gone, and he's got the overtake done. How is he doing it? We got a notification from Robbo saying that the lap 8 is going to be the pit window. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I can't believe... Oh, and Castle's gone wide. He's hit the grass. Is Bagpuss going to be able to make a move on him now? As we see Grimm going wide as well. What's happened to Grimm? He's been moved by 2 Spinneramas there. Now he's got Platypus coming up behind him. Let's just quickly see what happened to Grimm there. Right on board. Always a bit of contact, and that's pushed him wide. Oof. That looks like that was the real Trace, actually. Let's just quickly see if we can see a better shot of that from the real Trace's car. Let's have a look. Caught that a bit too late. Sorry about this. Replay glitch. Replay glitch. I'm going to jump back down to 10 more seconds. Let's have a look. So, they are coming up to turn 7. Ooh, I'm not sure what that was, actually. It looked like it was a little bit cheeky, but... Did he try to turn into a corner when a car was down the inside? Possibly, I don't know. But we are back to the race now, though. Let's jump back off the replay and see how Castle's getting on. He's got Bagpuss 2/10 behind him at the moment. Pit window opening up in just 1 lap's time. Some people asking for justice for Grim. We'll have to wait and see what the stewards think of that move. Now, it looks like there's also a battle going on for last place as well. Look at that. Harley in P12 currently is battling Astrosmith. He's only 5/10 behind in his Ron and Pollock's fishing car, the Lexus, against that Toyota ahead. And I'm quickly going to jump back to just see as Bagpuss has got a 5/10 penalty. Castle's got on a bit scruffy on the entrance of that corner, actually. And here they come through Sterling's. And yeah, he's a bit too far behind. I don't think we're going to see an overtake from you guys anytime soon. It's going to have to be a bit as Bagpuss dives into the pit. So we're seeing the first pit stop on lap 7, 1 lap earlier than the expected pit window here. I wonder what that's going to do for Bagpuss's strategy, and is he going onto those medium tyres? He's pulled away, and he's gone onto some fresh soft tyres actually, and he's come out in P5, so he's not lost too much time, and most importantly, he's come out ahead of Ash in P6 currently. Look at that, and Ash is yet to pit. Ash has damage. He's got front right wheel damage and rear bumper damage too. That's not going to clear until he pits actually, so he's going to be struggling a little bit here. I wonder what happened to him there. Let's check Ready Shaven's car, and he's not got any damage on his car, so it couldn't have been Ready Shaven. I wonder what happened to Ash. Let me just quickly cycle through and see who's got front bumper damage. Doesn't look like anyone. It's possible that Ash has just made a mistake by himself. And he's now got Ready Shaven right behind him as well. Let's see if Ready Shaven can do anything here as they come up to turn 5. Leaker's looking to make a move on Ready Shaven actually. Round the outside they go. Ooh, again Ready Shaven's going down the inside there. I'm surprised he managed to hold on to that. I thought they were definitely going to tag each other, but they didn't. Ready Shaven going on the grass again slightly. And Ash, I mean, Ready Shaven's got the overtake done, but Ash is trying to fight back. He's definitely in a position to fight back here. Ooh, and he's just been nudged by Leaker a little bit as well. A bit scruffy racing going on at the back here. Now, they're coming through the final corner now, the Clark curve. Ready Shaven taking a little bit of a wider line, and 2 of them into the pits. And I suppose Leaker has already pitted. I think he has, because look at the state of his soft tyres. Hardly worn at all. Maybe 2 laps he's done on those, or 1. So he might have actually been the earliest pit stopper here, and he's back up to P5 now, just 5.3 seconds ahead of Bagpuss. So, at the moment, Leaker is still going to be finishing in P3 in the driver's standings. The car behind him, I think it's Grim, does not have enough to overtake Leaker right now, and Leaker does not have enough to overtake Iceman Kimmy, so it's looking like a solid podium P3 in the overall driver standings for Leaker here. But yeah, he's had a pretty tough season. He got a grid place penalty last race, but he's come back, he's fought back, and he's in a pretty good position now to pick up a healthy 10 points for the Constructors' Champions this season, Spinorama. So we got the confirmation from Mick, Rod and Pollock's team captain, that Ash had a coming together with Harley. So that's maybe why Harley pitted early on. Teammates here bashing each other, that's never great to see. But I'm going to quickly jump back up to Bagpuss because he's still fighting these guys ahead. I don't think Super Bounty's pitted yet. No, he hasn't. He does need to pit. Castle's looking to get past Super Bounty here. He's almost side by side. Bounty still has enough of his car ahead to claim that inside line as they're going through the corner and choose his line. Bounty staying out for another lap, and Bagpuss has a big run on Castle now. He's side by side. Almost side by side. I reckon their wheels are side by side, back to front. Bagpuss looking to go around the outside here. Can he get him? Can Castle get Bounty? No, but can Bagpuss get Castle as they come up to turn 2 at the hairpin at Druids? Not quite. Excuse me. And Castle is still holding on to this position, and let's not forget, Castle's got fresh rubber, and so does Bagpuss, but Bounty is doing an amazing job on his defense right now. Look at his tyre wear as well. It's about 33% on the lefts and 25 to 30 on the rights. We've got a bit Castle trying to dive down the inside there, and that's allowed Bagpuss to overtake as Castle has to lift slightly to stabilise his car. Sorry about that, guy's got a bit of a tickly throat. But Bounty's still ahead. Bagpuss has actually got him now, and Bagpuss is looking to make a move with a little bit of better traction as they come out of turn 5 down the inside, and Super Bounty's had to yield there. Wow, I think Super Bounty's tyres are officially done. He must be coming into the pits now. I think he's taken them a bit too far there. Now, let's quickly jump back into P6 and look at this 4-way battle, 5-way battle for P6 currently. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 all battling hard here. Look at this. It's just a bunch of orange cars battling on track. Oh, as we see Platypus go a little bit deep into the corner, and that's going to allow Grim to try and make a move on him. But now Platypus does have the outside line, and he's been overtaken. We've got a lot of support for Team Harley again. Brandon Smith saying, this is your track, Harley, you can do it. Yeah, he's in P5, he's fought back from an early pit stop, and look at him go. Remember, he's on those medium tyres, and he's really bringing those tyres to life as well. Doesn't look like he's suffering too much, no twitchiness at the steering wheel. It looks like he's in complete control of that car, and his tyres are just in the groove right now. Tip-top temperature. Couldn't ask for anything more from him right now. Now, Bagpuss has taken the lead, and Racer Tay has dropped back down into P3. Did Racer Tay just pit? He's on completely fresh tyres here. So possibly, I think he extended his stint a lot more than these other guys, and he's going to want to get past these guys as soon as possible again. Let's see if he can get past them soon. But Castle doing a lot to defend there. He's swerving left and right. They're just coming through Sheens now, coming up to Sterling's. Let's see if Racer Tay's going to dive down the inside. No, he's not. He's going to stay behind and take advantage of that toe now as they are coming down clearways into the Clark curve at the final corner. Castle turns in, he claims the inside line. He's touched the grass again, and look at the speed he's lost just by touching the gravel slightly. He's lost a lot of speed, and now Racer Tay has the inside line. He's going to be able to dictate when he wants to turn into that corner. And look at that, he's in P2 again. Now, can Castle fight back? No, he cannot. Racer Tay is now firmly ahead. Castle could do something around the outside here as they go through Druids. And Castle, oh, look at that. Look at Castle. He's fighting. He's doing everything he can. He's even got the inside line here as they go up to the Cooper Straight at turn 3. He's fought back there, and now Racer Tay has the inside. So much going on as Bagpuss is currently leading the race. This must be one of Castle's strongest tracks. He seems to be loving it right now. Look at that. Racer Tay is trying to get in Castle's head by moving out of the toe, thinking that he's going to dive bomb, maybe force Castle into a mistake, but it just doesn't look like Castle is one for turning right now. He is fighting with that car. Look at the twitchiness. He's doing everything he can to stay behind Bag, get a little bit of a toe to help him with the defense against Racer Tay. And we're not seeing Racer Tay pull away as quick as he usually would as well. This Castle is in his prime right now. I've never seen him more comfortable than this, and it looks like he's fighting the car more than anyone has fought that Porsche all season, and he looks comfortable. That is saying a lot. Now Racer Tay is trying to make a move down the outside as Bagpuss goes wide. Bagpuss is off the track now. I think he may have come into contact with Racer Tay. I am going to just quickly save that replay and have a look what happened there. Is Racer Tay lifting to let Bagpuss pass? I'm not entirely sure, but he's been jumped now as Bagpuss goes wide again. Let's just quickly see what happened there. I'm right on board with Racer Tay actually, just to see if he did push him wide. They're coming down the main straight. Bagpuss is clearly ahead of Castle here, and Racer Tay's got more speed than Castle, so he turns into the corner. Bagpuss goes wide. Oh, and there was a little bit of a tag there. There was a tag by Racer Tay. Oof, and that's allowed Castle to jump away, look. And then Bagpuss gets jumped by Leaker, and then for good measure, Bagpuss brakes a little bit later, and he, hits that grass slightly and has to brake a little bit more. That's unlucky there. That's very unlucky for Bagpuss as he was just leading the race, but he's down 4 seconds from Castle. No, 5 seconds, in fact, from Castle. Bit cheeky there. Now, Harley is currently battling his teammate Grim ahead of him and Platypus in the bottom cause livery behind him. Harley's looking like he's a bit vulnerable at the moment, though. He's not pulling away from Platypus as one would expect. They've just gone through turn 6. Downhill through 7. And as they come into Sterling's now, let's check that gap. He's got less than 5 tenths behind him, so he could have a bit of trouble pulling out of the final corner and breaking away from Platypus behind him. He's looking stable, though. He is looking stable. Let's quickly jump to the pack and see how Astro's getting on. He's currently 37 seconds off Ash Wilson, who's also on that medium tyre, looking to extend this middle stint again. And Bounty he's got engine damage and he's got front bumper damage as well. And there he goes into the pits. He's got too much damage there. He's going to swap his wheels. Let's quickly jump back to Castle and see. Racer has closed up that gap so quickly. Now, can he do that same move again around the outside at 5? I think he can. He's actually got the lead here. And can he do the same again through 6? Round the Westfield bend he goes, and he's reclaimed the lead here. He's actually firmly ahead of Castle right now as well. Look at that. Racer has made so many moves around the outside here for position changes. I don't know how he's doing it. They are coming up to back markers now as well, so they do need to be careful that they don't tangle with him. And the back markers sure as hell will be getting blue flags pretty soon, and he needs to move out of the way as quick as he can as well. I'm going to quickly jump back down to this battle here between Platypus and Harley, because Platypus again is not letting him get away. Harley looking a bit choppy, fighting with the steering wheel a little bit. He's almost drifting through the corners as well. I don't think he's in control of that setup right now, and that's having an effect on his control of the car. Racer Tay 7 tenths ahead of Castle. Let's just quickly compare the tyre wear as well, just to see. Racer Tay has a lot less tyre wear than Castle, actually. And Castle hardly has any fuel either, so these guys are definitely on alternate strategies right now as Racer Tay goes wide, but doesn't really lose out on any time. He's got the back marker of Astro ahead of him, though. Let's see if he loses time here. He's going to pull away a little bit now just because they're going through the corner, but let's see if Racer Tay's in trouble. No, he's not. He's looking okay. He's going to go a lot longer distance as well. He's definitely got the fuel for it. I think he's doing that strategy again where we see him refuel so he doesn't have to refuel at his last pit stop. I think that's what he's done. He's going to have a very quick pit stop, and that's probably why he dropped back down to 3rd place after his first pit stop, because he was refueling the car so much whilst these other guys did not. Oh, Astro needs to move out of the way. It was a bit of a tricky place to do it, actually, so he might be forgiven for that. But there's no damage to either of these cars, so they're both okay. But Castle is still stuck behind Astro here. Astro's now moved out of the way of Castle, and Racer Tay's got a 2.2 second advantage. Bagpuss has dropped back a little bit as well. Bagpuss is in the pits now, actually. Let's see what tyres he puts on. He's going to have to refuel a fair amount here because he's almost on empty. He's running on fumes. I reckon he's put the medium tyre on. Is he going to go to the end? No, he's put the soft tyre on, and he's definitely going to pit again. I don't think he can take half a tank, half race distance. No way. So he's definitely going to have to pit again here. He's come out in 4th place, though, so he's retained his position. He's got a mighty gap to the cars behind him, actually, as well. Look at that. Grim's currently in P5, 10 seconds behind. That's almost a pit stop here. So Bagpuss is looking like another solid top 5 finish here if he can hold it as he goes through turn 3 there. He did manage to hold it, and he's going down the Cooper Straight now. He's looking solid. Now, Racer Tay, 4 seconds ahead of Castle currently. Again, I don't think he will have to refuel too much in his final pit stop because he's got just over half a tank of fuel. Whereas Castle, again, almost running on fumes here. He must be pitting this lap. Let's stick with him for now just to see what Lika does as well. Lika needs to pit this lap as well, so maybe we might see a position change in the pits. We don't know, but we are about to find out now. So they're coming up to the final corner at the Clark Curve. Pit lane entry is immediately after that. They're sticking to the inside, and Castle's coming into the pits, as is Lika. You can see the brake lights trailing through there to make sure he can turn into the pits. Let's see what they put on. He's refueling, and where's Lika? Also in the refuel stage as well. Castle's not pulled away yet. Oh, I think he's repairing some damage on his car. Castle's pulled away, and Lika is still stationary. So I think Lika is fueled to the end. Yes, and that means he's not going to have to stop again either. Very clever strategy from these Spinorama guys. Sorry, he is going to have to stop again, but he's not going to have to refuel again. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Now, where's Racer Tay? He's just coming down the middle straight here up to turn 5. He's got a 23-second advantage. And at least on this pit stop, as he goes wide there and hits the grass, he's not going to have to refuel on this pit stop. I wonder where he's going to come in, though. I reckon it's going to be this lap. What do you guys think we're watching? Thanks for all of those guys that have actually tuned into the stream as well. I'm just trying to figure out when Racer Tay is going to pit here. But other than that, the gaps on track are pretty wide right now. Now, Racer Tay is actually losing a bit of time to Castle behind him. Bearing in mind Castle's on that fresh rubber. Racer Tay's, look at that, it was 23.5 just 3 corners ago, and it's already come down to 22.9. 22.9, 22.91, 22.8. It's coming down, so Castle has actually got a faster car at the moment. I think Racer Tay's going to pit this lap. And let's just quickly cycle through to see how these other guys are getting on. Can't see any serious damage on anyone's car right now. Bounty's gone off, and he's got rear bumper damage actually, so that could be affecting him a little bit there. He's got the Real Traders flying around behind him right now. Real Traders doesn't have any damage either, and Astro Smurf has got rear bumper damage too. I'm going to quickly jump back to Racer Tay because he should be pitting in 3 corners time. He's just going through Sheens now, downhill into Sterling's. This has actually not been the most controlled race from Racer Tay. He's been going wide in a fair few corners. I know it is quite easy to do that here at Brands Hatch, but it doesn't look like he's got the setup as nailed and as stuck to the ground as he usually does. But I mean, look, he has a 23-second lead. He does have to do another stop. However, Castle will also have to do another stop. Oh no! And Castle's actually gone wide coming out of Sheens there at turn 7, and that's lost him 4-5 seconds. That's going to help Racer Tay out a lot here. It could also help Leaker out a little bit as well, especially when it comes to that final stop that these guys have to do too. Let's not forget, Leaker might not have to refuel again, but Castle probably will. Now, we've got a big battle going on between Reddy Shaven and Ash Wilson. I'm glad I just caught that on the map. It's going to be absolutely great to watch. So let's do it. They've just gone through Sterling's now, coming up to the final corner at turn 9 at the Clark curve. None of these guys need to pit yet, unless Reddy Shaven does. No, he doesn't. He's looking down the inside, though, and he's got a far better run than Ash out of that corner. Where did that come from? Ash is now firmly behind with 0.5 of a second penalty, too. Didn't even look like Ash made a mistake or anything there. He just Reddy Shaven had a lot of pace. There's a bit of a battle going on ahead of them as well between Harley and Bagpuss. Harley is just 1 second behind at the minute. They're going down the back straight. They're coming up to the Hallworth bend. If Harley can't get this below 1 second through this chain of 3 right-handers, I think Bag's going to pull away a little bit. Let's have a look. It's 1.2 seconds. It's climbing ever so slightly. It's come down a little bit there. Maybe Bagpuss made a bit of a mistake. I just don't think these Rod and Pollux guys have as good a setup as they have had through the past few races. We've got Rod and Pollux Fishing saying that Ash let him through. Run in draft to save fuel. Ash let him through. Run in draft to save fuel. Not sure what that means. Quickly just going to go jump back to Reddy Shaven and Platypus just to see if Reddy Shaven is going to be able to get past Platypus sometime soon as well. Now, we know that I think Reddy Shaven is a faster driver than Platypus, but Platypus is definitely one to defend as hard as he possibly can. He's never one to give up a fight, and he's one of the cleanest defenders we have as well. 1/10 of a second is currently separating these guys, and it's going to stay that way for now. Jumping back up to this battle here for 5th place, Bagpuss is looking to make a move back on Grim here as well. Grim getting a little bit scruffy out of turn 3. Down the Cooper straight they go and into turn 4. Bagpuss is trailing. He's not too far behind, though. He could benefit from a little bit of a tow here. Now, you would usually expect the slipstream going uphill here to be a little bit more powerful than you see. I mean, I know if you've got a tailwind, the wind resistance is not going to be that aggressive, but I really expected the slipstream to be a bit stronger. But when these guys are following, they're just not gaining that much. It's not the longest straight, sure, but I don't know. The aerodynamic advantage of being in the slipstream just doesn't seem to be that advantageous here at Brands Hatch. Maybe there is just too strong of a tailwind. Who knows? But I'm going to go back up to Racer Tay, who's currently leading Castle by 35 seconds. And Racer Tay's pitted too. He's got fresh soft tyres on right now. He's going to the end. He's just come out of the pits. He's got a 21-second gap. Wow. Has Castle pitted? No, he's not pitted. And he's going to have to pit soon as well. Now, remember, Lika is going to have to get P3 and the fastest lap at least to be able to get those 16 points he needs. And look at that. I've just cursed Castle. He's gone off the road. Lika has now got P2. And when they come into the pits, Lika's not going to have to refuel. If they come into the pits again. Lika just needs the fastest lap now. And Racer Tay's got it. It's a 122.222. Now, Lika's lap times aren't looking as strong as a 122. Look at his last 8 laps. 124, 127, 124, 123. I don't think he's got the pace he needs to be able to challenge that 122.2 at the moment. So unless Racer Tay lets him pass on the final lap or something like that, could Lika lose out because of Racer Tay's fastest lap here? This is going to be an interesting one now. Let's jump back to Harley to see how he's getting on. We've got another Rodden Pollock's Caterpillar here. We've got Grim following Harley, 2 of the Rodden Pollock's fishing cars there. And we've got Bagpuss now, who's overtaken Grim and reclaimed 4th place. He's only 4 tenths ahead of Grim, though. And equally, Harley is only 4 tenths behind Grim, too. So, Bagpuss could be vulnerable here. If he makes one mistake, these 2 guys are going to pounce on him. Just coming through turn 2 now at Druids. Bagpuss his car's stable. He's got a nice setup. He's in tune with it. He's really not making any mistakes apart from that one time he went wide. May have been Racer Tay's fault. Not entirely sure yet. But he's going to put up a hell of a defense here because again he wants a podium. We all know Bagpuss is hunting for those podiums. He's had quite a few recently, but he is going to have to pit now. Actually, he will have to pit. Look at that. He's got flashing fuel. And his front tyres are a little bit worse for wear. Going to jump back up to Castle, who's now 1.2 seconds behind Likala. Castle racing, what's the gap? It's 7 tenths of a second, so he is actually catching up to the back of Lika. But let's not forget, if they do need to pit again, which Castle definitely does, I'm still trying to work out if Likala will, based on his tyre wear. But if they do, Likala's stop is going to be far shorter because he will not have to refuel. Similar to Racer Tay, but I don't think he's pitting again. Now, we do have someone in the pit. It is Bagpuss, so let's see where he comes out in relation to Harley. Harley's pitting too. Harley had a lot more tyre wear than Bagpuss did as well. Bagpuss is pulling away. Harley's just pulling away, so Bagpuss is going to come out ahead. And Bounty's left the room. That's a shame to see. But we're down to 10 drivers. And Racer Tay is still leading Likala now, 15 seconds down the road. Likala's got Castle behind him, but again, Likala is not setting 122 laps, he's setting 124s, and that does mean that he's going to be struggling a lot to try and beat, when it comes to trying to beat that 122.2 by Racer Tay. He only needs 15 points plus 1 extra for the fastest lap to claim that position in the driver standings. I will just quickly check that just to confirm. He is currently 16 points behind Iceman Kimi. Yeah, so actually, if he wants to overtake him, actually have more points than him, then he is going to need to get a race win. I wonder if we're going to see that from Racer Tay. Castle's come into the pits. Now, Leekler's just gone around Druids. Castle's just coming out of the pits now, I believe. He's going to come out in 3rd place. Yes, he is, just ahead of Ash Wilson, who's currently running in 4th place. Nice to see a good recovery from him as well. Top 2 don't have any damage on their cars whatsoever. Castle's just come out on fresh rubber. He's 16 seconds behind Leekler, though. And again, that's just some clever strategy. In terms of the refueling time they spend there. He's doing a pretty decent job. And Rodden Pollock's Fishing has said he let Ready Shaving through to run in the slipstream to save fuel. Okay. Makes sense now. Thanks for that clarification. Quickly going to jump back down to, is it? Yeah, here we go. It's 10th and 11th battling for the final point. Oh, no, it's not. It's 10th in 1st place. It's Racer Tay looking to make a move past the back marker. That is the real Tracy. But he has got past him. Real Tracy moved out of the way. He's now gone onto the grass, though. Let's hope he can avoid that wall. He just skims past that wall. And he's also got damage on the front as well. Look at that. He's got front bumper damage and front left wheel assembly damage as well. That's probably slowing him down, especially on this track with a lot of right-handers. You need that front left tyre. You depend on that front left tyre to get the corner done right. And yeah, he's come into contact with something or someone. And he's got a bit... Maybe he did tag that wall. It is possible. Maybe he tagged the wall that I thought he missed on the straight. But yeah, that's a bit of a shame there. Now, there is still something going on. Who is it? It's Grim and it's Bagpuss battling for P5 again. These guys aren't going to have to pit again. Let's just quickly check out Grim just to make sure Grim doesn't have to pit either. No, he doesn't. They're both on similar fuel, both on similar tyres too. It's going to come down to the wire here with just 6 laps to go. They make it through turn 1 and Bagpuss is catching up to the back of him. Oof, this is going to be a close battle. This is going to be a very close battle for the P4 here. Gap's just less than 0.3 of a second now. Sorry, I was a little bit quiet there. I was just waiting to see if the slipstream would help out Bagpuss here, and it looks like it actually has now for once. They're coming up to turn 6 at the Westfield Bend right now. Through Dingledale they go, and Bagpuss is closing, but he's still got it to less than 0.3 of a second. It's all going to depend how they make it through Stirling's. It's a tricky corner, especially when you're following someone, but if you can eat enough of that inside curb, you might be able to get an advantage on the guy ahead of you, but unfortunately Bagpuss avoid that curb. They're coming up to the final corner now, the Clark curve, and the gap's jumped to 0.7 of a second now. I think it's so hard to follow closely through Stirling's, and if you don't get a good entry into that corner, you lose a lot on clearways down the straight up to turn 9 at Clark curve, and I think that's what's happened to Bagpuss here. He has closed it back down to just 0.5 second. It's 0.5 right now. But he still has a way to go. He still has a long way to go if he wants to make a move. Unless Grim's making a mistake, I think it's going to finish like this. And there goes the mistake. He's touched the grass and that slowed him down a little bit. Bagpuss has gained 0.2. He's looking to make a move down the inside here, but he's not going to do it just yet. He's 0.3 behind, 0.4 behind now. 0.3 it drops below 4. And Bagpuss has again got this slipstream now as they run it up to turn 5 at the Horworth Bend. Now, they're just coming through Westfield Bend now. Now, once they exit Sheen, we'll know if Bagpuss can get a better entry into turn 8. They've gone through it, and he's only 0.4 behind. He can do it this time. He just needs to turn in a little bit earlier. He's gone to the inside line instead, and he's managed to stay within 0.5 of a second. So that was far better than it was last lap. Now, it's all going to come down to whether or not Bagpuss's car can get pulled by the car ahead down the straight. It's dropped back to just below 0.7 of a second, just above 0.7 of a second again, unfortunately. So Grim is doing a pretty decent job here, and he's also catching up to the back of Castle as well. Now, what's going on with Castle? Now, we'll keep an eye on that gap, as we've just found out again that Grim hates cats. Castle has got 1.7 seconds on Grim currently. Any more mistakes from Castle, and we might actually see a podium finish from Grim here. Racer Tay's currently got an 8-second 8.2. He's cruising. He's gonna let Lika past. Look at Racer Tay slowing down. Let me see if I can get a cockpit cam. We don't have the cockpit cam, unfortunately, but just listen to his engine. He's letting Lika pass to claim P2. This could be Lika's first race win of the season too. Where's Lika? He's just gone through Druids. Racer Tay's got a 1:21.8. Lika's never going to be able to touch that. That's almost 3 seconds quicker than Lika actually. And I think because of that, and the fact that if Lika wants to secure a P2, he's going to need a P1. And he's now got Racer Tay in his sights. That's great to see. That's great teamwork here, I suppose, for Spinorama to finish 1 and 2. They are allowed to do this, I suppose. It's always better to see overtakes done on track, but you can't take it away from them. If they want P1, P2, they can do this. And we've also got confirmation as well that Grim is going to get a double race bonus if he gets a podium here. Interesting. Now, I will jump back to the battle between Grim, Bagpuss and Castle shortly. I just want to see if they're trying to adopt to this a little bit. Whether or not they're trying to make it seem like Lika's battling Racer Tay hard. Just wondering if I'd missed something on the stream. I don't think so, guys. Right, while that's going on, I'll quickly jump to Grim and see how close he is. Oh, he's only 5 tenths behind. Let's quickly compare their tyre wear. It looks like Grim has a little bit more tyre wear, however, and Lika is now looking to get past the Real Tracy as well. Back marker, and he's going to try and catch up to the back of Racer Tay again as the Real Tracy goes wide. And Lika now is in, oh well, he's still in P2, but he's not got a blue flag back marker ahead of him. So he's going to probably go for a photo finish with Racer Tay here. I got a question from Smalley asking, Robot, do you think Ash is good at other sports? I would say so, but let's just say no sports involving balls. Gonna jump back down to Grim. I was talking about snooker, guys. Nothing, there's no innuendos there, don't worry. Gonna jump back to Grim though and just see he's less than 0.4 of a second behind now. He could actually snatch a podium here, but look at Grim's fuel. He's only got 1 lap left. Castle's probably got this a little bit more fuel actually. Grim's got a lighter car right now. Let's see if he can do anything here on the last lap. He's so close behind. He is so close behind. They're going through Sterling's now. Again, another corner where you need to nail it if you want any chance of overtaking down the Brabham Straight. He needs to be within 5 tenths, and he is. He is within 5 tenths, but he's just a bit too far behind. If he's going to overtake now, it's going to have to be somewhere in the middle sector through turns 5 to 8. If it's after turn 8, it's too late, unfortunately. Now I'm going to quickly jump to the race leaders because Racer Tay is just 5 tenths ahead of Lika right now. We're going to see a switch sometime soon. Are we going to see the switch here? Not yet. Where's Grim? He's 8 tenths behind Castle now. He's managed to extend the gap somehow. Castle's done a good job there to pull away, to not leave himself vulnerable to a last corner dive bomb or something like that. Racer Tay is side by side and Lika is now ahead. Racer Tay's looking to make a move down the outside though. They're going wheel to wheel. I think they're putting on a bit of a show for you here. Nice to see the AMG Mercedes flying in formation right now with Lika firmly ahead. It's going to be a side-by-side finish, I reckon, and Racer Tay has pretty much gifted Lika the win to secure P2 in the driver standings. That's very nice of him. Very, very nice of him. Racer Tay is now leading, though. He's got first place, but Lika's probably going to pull away here. They're finishing information. What an absolute amazing end to this season. Spinorama have done what they need to, and if Racer Tay doesn't let Lika go here, Lika's not going to get P2. Oh, they've not done it. Racer Tay's finished ahead. That's interesting. And Castle's finished ahead as well. Grim finishes in P4, and Bagpuss is going to take another top 5 finish. Well done, Grim, for getting the Rod and Pollux in the top 5 as well. Very good work for you. Next up, it's going to be Ash, and he's going to be behind Astro on track, but ahead in the standings. Ash slides across the line, as does Ash as well, finishing this season in absolute style. Next up, it's going to be Platypus. This is a pretty high finish for him, actually. It's so nice to see him picking up this healthy amount of points. 6 points for Bockham Calls there. This is one of his favourite tracks, I believe, and he's done a solid job. He got pushed off, I believe, at the start, but he's managed to claim... He's finished ahead of Harley too, not taking anything away from Harley as he crosses the line in P8 as well, sliding across there. Next, it's going to be Ready Shaven, and I think he's going to be the last one to cross the line for Tag here, Phoenix Race Lab there. He's got a lot of damage on his vehicle, as you can see. Not battling with the steering wheel too much, but that's it. That's everyone across the line. Yeah, great race and a great end to the season as we see Lika just finish 1/10 behind. I don't think they saw the updated results. That's interesting. And Racetage just giving confirmation it was planned to end whoever was ahead, just a wholesome way to end the season. There we go. Nice to see you flying information there on the last lap. You've dominated the entire season, Spinorama has. It's been a great... and it's been very entertaining, great sport to watch. But thanks everyone who's tuned in. That's Division 1 Season 2 over in GTS here in OFR. We have got the D2 race starting in just 20 minutes time, so make sure you tune into that, where we're going to have the commentary legends, Ash, Mick and Astro commentating there. So yeah, tune into that as well. Thanks guys, it's been an absolute pleasure, and we're just going to show you a little bit of an advert for Rod and Pollux. Thanks guys.